Hello everyone. Welcome to Node Many-to-Many. By the end of this lesson, I hope that you too will be able to code a many-to-many relationship in Express using connects. So let's do kind of an overview of this. So I have an Express app. And who's made an Express app in here? Everyone? Yes. Want to get a sense of like how much of this is also like intro to Express. Okay, so we're going to make a database connection. And then we're going to use that connection to make queries. And then we're going to jam a bunch of data together and send it back to the user. So HTTP rec res, cool. That's the rough shape of this. This part of it is all handled by connects, which is a library for Express. So let's start by making a no database. We'll start with the end in mind, start with green, or start with red, make it green, and refactor. So to start an Express app, and don't follow along with this, just watch. I'm going to initialize the package JSON file. I'm going to npm install, we'll start with just Express. And I'm going to make an app.js file. And in the app.js file, I am going to bring in Express. I'm going to make an app with it. And I'm going to listen for requests on port 4000. If I get a GET request to the root, that's my request and response objects. This is my function. I'm going to response.json. Hey girl. Neat. That's an Express app. So if I hop over to the package JSON file, and for scripts, make a start script. To start this app, you type node app.js. All that does is keep us from having to type that out every time. Instead, we write npm start. Womp womp. What didn't like? Response.json. No, you can do trailing commas. You can do something else right. L doesn't like that part. That's fine though. Actually looks okay to me. See that error again? Oh, it's my package JSON. That's why. That happens when you manually edit stuff. You cannot have trailing commas in JSON. All right, so I run npm start. Already using 4000. Fine. 5000? All right. Now, if I make a GET request to localhost 5000, I get my message back. Sick! So one more time. I bring in Express. I make an app with it. I listen for GET requests to root. I pass in a function to this. So app.get takes two arguments, a path and a function. This function is given a request object and a response object. We call the response object's JSON method, send some kind of object back, and we tell it where to listen. Questions about this? Yeah.
I thought that JSON was to take a JSON object and turn it into.
It is saying I want to send a JSON response back, and it accepts an object and JSONifies it. What else? Cool. Your turn. So we npm init-wide, that makes a new package JSON file. Make some file called mine app.js. You do these things. And then in your package JSON file, you want to have a script called start that runs the app.
I thought there was another step in between the need and the apply and
npm install express. That's like gem install, same kind of thing. Give it a go.
this part in package JSON. It's start and then
Node and then the name of the file.
oh, okay.
It's just like calling Ruby environment RB or something like that. All right, so give me a many-to-many relationship.
Pirates for ships.
All right. Each ship is on, or each pirate is on more than one ship?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Okay, so I've got const pirates. And ID1 is Kyle. ID2 is Jared. ID3 is Stephanie. All right, so there's our pirates. And then our ships are going to be the Nina, Penta, the Dan Marino. Okay, so I have an array of pirates and an array of ships. Let's kludge together some relationships. So, give me a name for the join table.
Pirate ships, pirate.
A commission.
Oh, right.
Commissions. So these are like pirate ID 1, ship ID 1, and then pirate 1 is also on ship 2, and pirate 3 is the sole pirate of ship 3. All right. So, all right, I got these 3 arrays here. This part doesn't actually have anything to do with connects or express. What's the logic that I would use to generate the thing that I want? Like, what I want to have is something like, let's see. My list of pirates, and then their ships under that. And so Kyle has ship 1 and ship 2. Oh, yes, it does. Good call. So I want something like that. And then Jared doesn't get a ship. Bummer. You're still a pirate in our eyes, buddy. And Stephanie's on the Dan Marino. So that's how we'll know that we made it, is if we can generate something like that. So how do I take those 3 arrays I have and make that? Think to yourself for a sec. Oh, Jared can join me on the Nina. Kind of underscore the many-to-manyness of this. This one shows up here twice. Cool, who's got some ideas? I'm going to transform that data. Yep.
Start up 3 tables, one for. Okay.
Function.
Function.
I want a function that will turn those 3 arrays that I have into one array that looks like that.
Some thing along the lines of like some kind of find function with permissions
Okay, that's probably going to have to be part of it.
where you first check for pirate ID to match whichever specific pirate you're looking for.
Okay.
That's the first step.
That's definitely an element of it. But even before that, what am I going to base this on? What am I like fundamentally doing here?
Like where are the ships for instance for the pile, where is your
You're
ships?
jumping too far ahead.
Yeah.
What am I starting with?
With the pirates.
Yeah. I got to start with pirates. Okay, what am I doing with the pirates?
You want all, well, it depends. Either you want all of them or you're looking, what's the name of this function?
Get pirates with ships.
Okay.
So right now I have pirates that look like this,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to transform them into pirates that look like this.
Yeah. And that gives you one all the pirates.
Yes. So what kind of operation is that?
Sure.
I'm transforming that one to that one. There we go. Map. I want to map the pirates. Yeah. So each one of these pirates is getting transformed somehow. How are they getting transformed?
By being added to the
Nope. Map is creating a new array.
array. Right.
Have a pirate.
Oh, no, you're saying how we want
Yeah.
it.
What happens in the body of this?
I see. We're adding key value.
Yep, we're adding a new key to it. So it's like pirate dot ships, and then what's that going to be?
So we have 3 arrays, one with commission, ships, and pirates.
Mhm.
Would the pirate ship be based on the commissions array?
Yeah, something kind of like that. So give me an idea. What am I doing next?
New array.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have the conditional statement to go through, you need to go through commissions and say if the pirate's ID matches up with that pirate. then-
Hey, I like that. So we'll say like const my commissions. Spell it right. My commissions. How do I get my commissions? This is like day 4 stuff. We did this. I know this because we just did it with the Jason Derulo. Oh, I think I heard it. Yeah! Commissions.filter. That's a commission. What makes it into the filter?
Pirate
Is
equal to pirate dot ID.
I love it. All right, it's so. So I have an empty ships array. I know what my commissions are. What now? What now, Dad?
Should we push my commissions on the pirate dot ships?
I could. Let's take a look at a commission. Commission looks like this.
This commission only has ship's ID, it doesn't have a ship name, so then you do a ship object.
Yeah, how am I going to get its ship? Yeah, man. So I have these commissions, and I can say we'll say like const my ships equals my commissions dot map. My commission. No. My commission. Okay, how do what do I want to transform the commission into? Okay, how do I do that? How do I turn it into a ship?
Yeah, how do you turn that? Yeah, we just do the same thing with given pirate ID, so it should be ships. We need a.
I have one of these.
Right.
I need to get one of these. My commission dot ship ID. What am I doing with it? I want that object back. But I have a ship ID now. How do I get the ship that has this ID? Okay. So I go ships what? Ships is an array.
You need to find a filter.
Hey! I can find. How do I know if I found it? Yeah. Ship.id will be the same as ship ID. All right. So that gives me my ships. What do I do now? Sure. Or I'll do you one better. Okay. Last thing. Right now, if I call get pirates and ships, it's going to return nothing. Nope, it's going to return an empty array. It's a syntax thing.
Instead of returning pirates.map, you should be returning pirates.ships. Or return
What do I need to return?
just the pirates. Right?
Just pirate. Hey now. All right, I bet that works. So if I return pirates, get pirates with ships. What now, Dad? So we need to restart this. Uh-oh. I'm in the ballpark.
You should return two things.
No, you can return more than one thing. I'm kidding. You totally can't. So that wasn't the problem. Anybody see it? Nope. I'm actually not returning enough things. Nope. Did you see it yet? Explain this line to me. Nope, that's not it. Nope. So I'm taking all these commissions of mine, I'm mapping over them and turning them all into what? Am I? Right now I think I'm turning them into null, undefined or something like that. I'm not returning anything. In this function right here, that starts here and ends here, nothing is being returned. This is returning out of this function. But otherwise, nothing's actually getting returned. I want to return back the ship that I found. Okay. Now what we got? Hey! Didn't I say Jared could join me? Oh, I don't think I gave him a commission. So I'll also say old J-Rod, you can hang out over here. Cool. Jared's got a ship now. Ta-da! That's it. That's what the end looks like on this. Now let's clean up that logic a little bit, because this is pretty redundant. If I'm going to refactor this function, make it look less gnarly. Any low-hanging fruit?
Maybe, like, you map through both pirates and like mission when you're looking for IDs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could do some redundancy there, but I don't want to do that.
I see some easier ones.
Okay.
Not this. Hey! So I can say pirate.ships just equals all this. All right, that's an improvement. My commissions. Anything else? So I think that's going to be the next step. But I got one more. If my commissions is this, and my commissions is this, yeah. Aaron's got it. God, I love JavaScript. So yeah, pirate.ships is filter this shit and then map it. Now Aaron's other idea I like a lot too. This is like still pretty hard to read. So how about all these little lambdas that I'm doing? I make little functions for all of those. So let's do this first one. If I make this its own function, how do I do that? You know how we do that? Oh, I love this. This relates to a conversation we had 2 days ago. We're gonna have to do a closure, baby! Because, why do we need a closure? You got it.
Because ship ID
Isn't in this scope. It's in this outer scope. Ah, Brad, you found the beat. I'm so proud of you. So, we're going to make a function called is matching ship ID. Anything that's just going to always return true or false like this, starting with something like is or does or something like that is a good way to get your mindset of like what this function's doing. And this takes in a ship ID and returns a function that takes a ship. Like that. Closure. Now, is matching ship ID, pass in ship ID. Closure. Okay, next one. This one here. My commission. Ooh. Well, that ship ID, we can also refactor that a little bit. Let's do that in line. My commission dot ship ID. Now we don't need that. Ooh, I think I'm gonna have to do the same thing though, right? Why? What else do I need? What's the variable that I need to close over? Think about the body of this function here. What's it not going to have once I bust this out? Nope. My commission is going to get passed in. Ships it's not going to have. All right, so we're going to have to close over again, just like we did here. That's fine. What are we going to call this function? What transformation is occurring? Oh, no, actually, I take it back. Commission to ship. Function commission to ship. One commission, one ship. That makes sense. We can say takes in a commission. Well, actually, takes in ships and returns a function that takes in a commission and returns all the rest of this. And now, ooh, starting to get lean. I like it. Closures on closures on closures, yo. All right. This filter. How do I do this? What's happening in that filter?
from the commission pirate ID, make sure it matches just the pirate ID.
Yeah, I just want my commissions, right? The commissions for one pirate. What do I not have access to? Like in this scope. the pirate. So I'm looking for is my commission or something. It's filter, so it's also going to be Boolean. Is my commission. And we need to take in the thing that we don't have and return that function that's going to get passed in, which is commission cool. So then, oops, and that also need to get invoked here. So we could say that this filter is my commission. Ooh, this is starting to get downright readable now. A pirate's ships are commissions filtered by whether or not it's their commission and then transformed into ships. Okay? One last thing. This last lambda. What is ultimately happening here? What transformation is occurring?
You're raised based on whether pirate ships matches the commissions,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't have access. Do we have access to commissions?
Oh, is my commission needs pirate. Okay, so what do I not have right now in the body of this? Two things. From here to here, what's not in scope? Commissions is one. Ships is the other. Yep.
So, we define this like right?
We did.
You can see them.
Oh, it can. It's just sloppy programming. We'll see why in just a sec. But for right now, humor me. Yeah, yes, it could see them globally. We got a better way to handle that. Okay, so those are the two things that I'm going to need to pass in. What transformation is occurring here? I start with pirates and I turn it into pirates with ships. So function pirates. We call it add ships even. Fine. The things that we didn't have were ships and commissions. But all the rest of this gets passed in a pirate. And then does this stuff. Cool. Now this map that is refactored code. Oops, so it also needs ships, commissions. when you're working your projects next week, do this. It's not always like fancy closure shit, but don't stop once you have it working. This is a lot easier to work with. Cool. So let's see if it still works. Nope. My commission is not defined. Aha! Oh, it's because I'm still calling it my commission. Just call it commission here. We just say commission, buddy. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Okay, let's do the connexy part of this. So I need a couple things for Connects to work. I need to install it. So npm install Connects. I also need a database driver for it to use.
Can you use Postgres? Is that okay if we do that in this one?
It's preferred. So we're going to install the Postgres driver for it. Sick. A lot of this next part is very similar to how we did in Rails. So I'm going to do npx, not m, npx connects migrate make, and we'll say pirates, ships, and commissions. Yep. Oh, I have to actually make the database connection first. That's right. I'm going to do connects and init. So this makes an empty, npx connects init, same thing. Makes this connects file for me. So over here, this is just boilerplate. It's giving you examples of what different ways of doing this look like. We're going to roll with just this. Client, we're using PG. A few different ways you can write the connection. The way that we're going to do it is with a string. And we'll use the PostgreSQL protocol. 3 slashes, not 2. And then the name of our DB. So this is going to be pirates. So when our app is trying to connect to the database, this is how it's going to try to do it. So we use the Postgres protocol and then look for a database called pirates, /pirates. How do we make databases in Postgres? Create DB. Create DB pirates. Uh-oh. Bruce services restart PostgreSQL. Cool. Uh-oh. Image not found. I don't think I've ever had that one before. There is of course it's a homebrew problem. I don't have a high opinion of homebrew for what it's worth. All right, so it's going to make this database that we can connect to. We're going to make a migration. We can seed that awesome data that we have.
You need to worry about that npx command you did, and the one that gave all this red shit.
Yeah, so that's the one we're going to do in a sec.
Okay.
The reason that this didn't work is I migrate what? It needs to like have a database to do that with.
Is it name is like what, node package manager?
Correct.
NPX is
Executable. So things like connects, it's a package, just like a gen is or something like that. It's also a set of commands that we can do. So you can install those globally. That's why I was able to do connects init. If you don't want to install it globally, which is kind of the preferred way in 2020, if you've installed it to your node modules, you can type npx and that, and it'll run that executable without installing it. Kind of nice. Yes.
Could you explain a little bit more about connects?
Mhm.
Exactly what it is?
Connects is a level lower than active record. So active record is an ORM. Connects is what we call a query builder. This is less things than an ORM. There are JavaScript ORMs. For example, objection is kind of my favorite one. That uses connects. Objection is like one for one with active record. They're very similar. So slightly more popular one called Sequelize, also an ORM. I don't know if that one uses connects actually. But under the hood, it's using connects as a query builder. So what query builder lets us do is it lets us write some very SQL-like syntax in JavaScript. That's it. There's no models. There's no relationships other than just like joins and stuff. But one of my like personal rules to go by is always write in the language of the extension of the file you're in. So don't write SQL in a JavaScript file. That doesn't make any sense. Your syntax highlighting will all get fucked up, and it's also probably just a sign that you're mashing two things together that don't belong together. Connects lets us write queries in JavaScript, and then Connects translates it to SQL for us. We also get some other cool benefits from that, like we can use promises and lots of other neat stuff. It's a great question.
Like, what is PHP? Because I remember back in the day, I like pre-installed some form or something, PHP files and like edit them, but I don't know what about.
So PHP it's just in this family. All of these were made for different purposes. PHP was the only one on this list that was made for websites, period. In fact, all those other four were made for like as general purpose programming languages. This was made for the web, period, the end. You can use it for some other stuff, but like I can't even imagine that making sense. You can do things like if you just you can start typing HTML anytime you want anywhere in a PHP file, and it'll render it if that page runs. It's little stuff like that, but it's just another language.
You don't have to do like a REST client or anything like an extra gen because PHP just has that built into it, right?
Yes, but like everybody does. Like the era that Corey's talking about of PHP was a very dark time on the web. You'll hear a lot of hate for PHP to this very day. It was React. It was everywhere, just ubiquitous. And when something is ubiquitous, it becomes the default. And when you're the default, that's what default developers work with. And default developers are terrible at their job. And so the whole web was littered with these shitwad PHP apps for a very long time. But then PHP grew up, everything does. But it's kind of like, remember like when Michael Jackson was a teenager and he had like really bad acne and like but he was mega famous, and everybody was just looking at him the whole time. He's like, "Stop looking at me, my body's awkward." And everyone's like, "Ah, ha, ha, your body's awkward. You're not a cute kid anymore." And then he bought the Elephant Man's bones. Like that was PHP. We like had to watch PHP grow up like in front of everyone. It's a great language now. My last job was a PHP job. Like Laravel is very similar to Rails and like kind of nicer in a lot of ways. But that's what that is.
All right, last question. Where do you write SQL code? Like, you're saying only
You
write
don't.
things you don't.
Not here.
But,
Connects does all the SQL for you. You write them in JavaScript.
okay, where does one who writes SQL code?
So when I write, the only times I ever really write raw SQL anymore are for like, Develop Never is a good example. The Develop Never database does not have any admin views. There's no like, I logged in as an admin and updated this person's profile or gave them a ticket or anything. There's none of that shit exists. And so anytime I want to like flag somebody as a speaker or something like that, I just write an update query. Like go into the database and type it out. It's just actually a terrible idea, but it's because we never got around to making those admin views. Because like, I don't know, have you ever screwed up a query before? Me too. Except when I do it on a production database, I can erase all of our data. All right.
It sounds like PHP is like the Comic Sans of programming language. So ubiquitous in the day, now everybody gets it.
And also, Comic Sans is a well-designed typeface. The only reason it has the reputation it does is that it was used the way that it was by people making garage sale signs and church newsletters and that kind of shit. Okay, that. Brew upgrade OpenSSL. Install OpenSSL, maybe. All right, let's see if it'll let me do it now. CreateDB, Pirates, Perts. Now I have this worthless database hanging around. All right, Pirates. So this npx command, awesome. So I've made this migration. While I'm at it, I'm going to seed make power strips and commissions as well. Excellent. So now when I take a look at that migration that I made, this is just like the Rails ones with like a little bit less boilerplate. So I want to return. If you don't return, this isn't going to work. That's like the first thing that people screw up the most. Connects.schema, create table. Pirates. And then in the callback for it, table.string. Name. You also don't get the ID for free. Say increments. Like that. Neat. And then once we've done that, promise chain. Do another one. Make me ships. Cool, done. And then commissions. This will be table.references. Actually, I always forget the syntax for this. Connects references. because it's not, this one isn't the same as active record is. Foreign, that's right. So we have a ship ID, references. It's like ID in table, on table, something like that. In table. Ship. And then ditto for pirate. What are you mad about? Cool, and over here, we do the opposite of all of that. So we have that cool change thing in active record. We don't have that. We have to explicitly say what happens when we go up or when we go down. So this is going to be connect schema, drop table if exists, and we do it backwards. So we'll say commissions, then pirates, and then ships. Cool. That needs to close. There, 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 there. Oops, one of these didn't close right. Yeah, it's right there. Cool, that doesn't need that. All right, now we're in business. All right, no more X's. Beautiful. So I have made the tables I need. I can drop them if I need to. I go over to seeds and say something like pirates, delete all the ones that I have, and then pirates, insert these ones instead. Where, oh where can I get an array of pirates? We can take this shit and move it in there. Nice. And once I've done that, then I can make a bunch of ships. Oh, where can I get an array of ships? I know where. Cool. Then, where can I get a list of, maybe get it. Pro tip, this seed will work like once. Any guesses why? Because the IDs are fixed. There's ways around that. The way that you do it in real life is to not put the IDs in and then look them up each time. That's kind of gnarly. So another way that's kind of common is before you do all this, you can reset the sequence for the IDs to 1 every time. and then take the IDs out. That'll work. But fair warning. Okay, cool. So I should be able to seed now. npx connects seed run. Oh, I didn't do the migration yet. Migrate latest. Oh, it's because it did singles on those. Stupid. Pirates, ships, commissions. Missions, pirates, ships. Yeah. All right, so I migrate. Ship ID. Oh, I see what happened there. Foreign. Oh, I didn't know it could do this actually. That's kind of interesting. There's another way to do this though. One. References column. That's in the query. Author ID. Yeah, that should work. Ship ID, references ID in table ships. That exists. That. Yeah, it might be because I'm doing a foreign instead of an integer. Yeah, let's give that a shot. All right, cool, that ran. And now I'll do the seeds. I got a database, babies. So, this is how this all comes together. If I take a look at my app file, I don't have these arrays anymore. I need to get those from the database. So I'm going to make one more file. I'm going to call it database connection.js. First thing you need to get is the config for the database, because this is going to be different in development and staging and production and all those different environments. I'm going to require in that connects file that it made. You don't need extensions. You're doing requires in Node. And if we take a look at the connects file, it's this object. I want whatever key of the environment that I'm in. So I can say, give me process.node env.node.env. This is like what Heroku will set this to production. You could have it set to staging, lots of different things. Or if that isn't set, just default down to development. And elsewise, module.exports is connect, require, connects, and give it that config. So whenever I import in this file, I have an active connection with the database. Yeah, metal. So over here, const database is require database connection. And now what I can do with pirates is I could say pirates are database pirates dot select. I could say that ships, the database ships select. I could say that commissions, you get the idea. Works the same way as before. Pretty cool. Now, the rub on this is that all three of these are asynchronous. I'm making a call to the database. You don't want to block everything based on that. So, have you guys seen async await before? It's pretty dope. So what we do, because we could do a promise chain and just .then, each of these. It's kind of hard to get everything in like the scope that we want though. So what you do is this function here, put the word async in front of it, and then just await each of these. And otherwise this works exactly the way you'd think.
Okay, so the only ones that are affected by declaring that it's async are ones with await, like.
Well, these are promises.
Yeah.
So we're awaiting this promise to be done before we go on to the next line.
Okay.
Which is what? I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. Well, I'm just saying, like, so putting async on line 3 just makes that possible.
Correct.
Right?
That's it.
Okay,
It's literally just like, it's like almost like a fetch and then await is like dot there.
Exactly. All right.
But one last question.
Yeah.
So for the ones with await, I get it. For things that don't have await, then it's not effective.
Not affected. It's exactly like everything else.
Okay.
You got it. So this get pirates with ships method. Ooh. This needs pirates and ships and commissions. I got an idea. You just take those in as variables. Could be not. And over here, we can just pass those in. Because now they're not global variables. Now they're not in scope of those functions, and it doesn't fucking matter. Closures. Wonder if it works. No, it's except now it's coming from the database. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, get pirates, get ships, get commissions. Respond by calling this function. And now the scope doesn't matter on any of these. All of these functions are explicitly getting past everything that they need. One more cool thing. I could make a file called data methods. It's descriptive. And I can take all those functions that I wrote, put them in here. And then I can module.exports get pirates with ships. And then const get pirates with ships. Destructure that out of the export I just did. Nice. That's sexy.
May I see the export and import for the data methods one time? Alright, so.
I just took all of those functions and I exported an object, but used a little object shorthand for that. This is a key and this is a value.
Which file? You're in which file? You're in data methods now.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Get pirates with ships. That makes sense. Alright, and what's in the app.js? Was it the import or whatever? That was when you require.
I'm just destructuring it out of that object. Hmm?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, this was a lot.
Yes,
I don't-
yes it
yeah,
was.
I don't think I could, recreate exactly what we did. I'd probably get lost about like 50 minutes, or 50 minutes ago. But it seems to me, I'm just going to kind of reflect on
Okay.
what we've done so far and
Yes.
find out so far.
Love it.
The first mod, the second mod, it was very handful.
Yes.
And we kind of told what to do and everything.
Yeah.
And now, when we hit mod 3, we learned enough to kind of basically, let the little birds out of the nest.
Yes.
What I think would be beneficial, because this is so much,
Yes.
is a proper method and a way to tackle each individual one of these things.
Sure.
Because when we're talking about, like, if I want to make an Express app, I need to have, there's a lot of things that I don't know that I don't know. So what would be the best way, or do you have like a roadmap to Express apps that you could send us and everything?
Well, I'll tell you what I did when I taught my first Rails lesson to Jared, and I had never written a Rails app before. Jared, what did I do? Correct. So I want to learn how to make Express apps. Express node. Cool. Getting started, you say. NPM init. All right, and little explanations of how everything's happening. Next thing, hello world. This looks a lot like what we just did at the beginning of this. Node app.js. All right. They even have a little generator that kind of works more like the Rails one does and gives you some files for free and a little bit of that. How does routing work? So basically any language or framework worth learning has something like this. This is a good place to start. And by the end of this, like, you may not still be comfortable doing all of this, but you'll have way better questions. And that's my advice for just about anything. I've never written a line of Go in my life. If I go to that website, documents. Hey, getting started. Download, installing Go tools, testing installation. All right. And then, let's see. Oh, you can do YouTube videos too. That stuff, like, it just doesn't matter that much. What's the project? Oh yeah, definitely. So I go, I'm having a hard time finding a way to get started writing Go apps. Getting started with Go. All right, there's that. How to write Go code. Hey, there we go. Your first program. Lots of stuff there. Cheers. So that's how I would approach starting something like that. Good man.